What's up, junkies? Welcome back in for another edition of Pigskin Junkies. Myself, Michael Larson, the big brother, Jared Larson, here to bring you week 3 already of the college football season. Jared, how are we doing? And happy birthday to you.
Yeah, thank you. I feel great. Played golf, went to Disney, and we'll be spending the weekend consuming football. So life is good. I wish this card was a little bit better, but that's kind of how college goes. First couple weeks, everyone's kicking the dust off. Mm-hmm. Then we get into conference play. That's when the juicy ones start flowing. Actually, I think I saw from Felica, no ranked matchup this week for the first time in like 2.5 years.
Pretty crazy.
Kind of crazy. My Stanford Cardinal should be ranked going into the bounce house, but KJ Costello got knocked out for a no flag, and the Northwestern defense and then the Northwestern offense both hosed me all at the same time.
It was, so they kind of got the business, but more on that, I think, coming up later. So
I wish there was more coming up for me later on that.
Okay. Would you like to? You beat me this past week, I believe, so you get to go. Even though I think I won the head-to-heads, but
yeah, I had an all right week. Finally, it's about damn time. All right, so we're gonna kick this week off. Mike and I looked at the card. We're like, it's like Sandlot. This is gonna be a quick game. I gotta get home for lunch.
Yeah.
Temple at home, going to Philadelphia, catching 6.5. If you can get 7, that's great against Maryland. Ultimate letdown spot here for Maryland after just blowing the doors off last week. Loxley's got it moving. I am quite bullish on him as a coach, and then where Maryland is headed kind of long term. But I will take Temple getting 6.5. It's purely spot play this week. Give me the Owls at home in Philly.
I am. Who are they playing again? I'm trying to remember. Temple versus
Maryland.
Maryland, that's right. That's where we're going. I'm going to move just west of that. We're going to have Cincy taking on Miami of Ohio. Cincy, 17.5. They've won the victory bell 13 straight years. They got their teeth kicked in against Ohio State.
They did.
This is a very talented team. And I think they're going to come out and show that they have that talent. And Miami of Ohio just happens to be hog-tied on the railroad tracks coming into this game.
That's good stuff. I'm going to take Kansas State. Chris Kleeman, big fan. Early indications, despite the fact that he is not
Bill Snyder.
I think I've said it since they hired Joe Moorhead. I'm not a fan. I've been looking for situations to fade this Mississippi State squad really for the better part of 2 years. I'm getting 7 points with a coach that I trust. Obviously, don't like going on the road, but this is an 11 a.m. local time with those stupid cowbells.
Mm-hmm. They're illegal.
I think Kansas State will be ready. I think they'll keep it tight. It's going to be an ugly game, but I will take the 7 with the Wildcats.
Yeah, that's You'd have to pay me to sit in a room and like peel my eyes back so I don't shut my eyes like to watch that.
I was gonna say you're gonna want to scoop them out with a spoon. I think this probably a game played in the 20s.
Ugh, brutal. Next for me, I have FAU at Ball State. I got Ball State plus 2.5. Since 2014, FAU a whopping 0-11 on the road. So I like Ball State getting points at home.
I tell you what, man, they've stunk. I bet them last week. I watched them against Ohio State, and if Ohio State doesn't basically just pull everyone out of the game, they get the doors blown off them in that one too. So, you had Ohio State was pulling their starters in like the middle of the second quarter.
I think they pulled fans from the bleachers at halftime. It was just like, hey, you ever wanted to play a game in the horseshoe? Here you go.
$100,000 donation to Ohio State, not the Ohio State, just Ohio State University. Got a lot of early kicks actually, which is fantastic because then you really get the ball rolling. And then, next thing you know, you're attacking the whack, whacking the whack.
Whoa.
Hey, whoa.
Hey, ho.
Hey, what are you doing there? Wait.
The level of degenerate you can become so quickly if you bet all the noon or 11 o'clock games, and at 3 o'clock you're like, oh geez, I either made money or I have to make up this money.
Well, I was gonna say you do too. It's correct. You bet a bunch of early games, and you're either in the hole and you try and fish out, so you start firing on things you know nothing about, or you win a ton of money, and now you think that you've found this like crystal ball and you know everything, so you're just going to bet the board. Wouldn't advise either of those things because I've been to the end of both of those rainbows, and neither of them are good.
No pot of gold on either of them.
Yeah, no pot of gold. Give me New Mexico plus 35.
Ooh.
I'm not a huge fan of the spot with Notre Dame coming off the bye week, but I'm of the opinion, and this is my opinion, this is not really substantiated in anything, that they spent most of that week prepping for the game they play next week in Sanford Stadium against the Georgia Bulldogs, and not for the Fighting Bob Davies and the New Mexico Lobos. You hang 35 on Louisville. I don't think you're going to hang a whole lot more on New Mexico, and I expect New Mexico to score at least something in this game. So I think people know my lack of affinity for the Notre Dame football program. I will take New Mexico and take the 35 points and pray that they can score 10 and cover the number.
The Lobos. I think that's got to be one of the best mascots in college football.
It is a good mascot. Elite mascot.
Elite. Row the boat. UCF. Home in the Bowers house against Stanford. -9.
Do it.
I'm going to go to the well. Until the well runs dry, I'm going to the well. I don't know what Costello's shape's going to be. You have
He's out.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've heard from different people. Is it officially done? He's done? He's done chained?
I'll look it up.
Either way, I just think this UCF team has a ton of talent. They got two quarterbacks who can really play. Really, you can be happy with either one. And Mackenzie Milton's got to be kicking himself because he told this kid to come from Hawaii to UCF, and when he gets healthy again, he's going to have to try and win his job back from this kid. He can flat out throw the football. I just think at home UCF's had this game circled. This is obviously the second matchup the Knights lost in 2015. I think that was the year that they lost every single football game. So, a different team that they're playing. Stanford Cardinals playing this time at home. It's going to be rowdy. Everyone's going to be screaming. It's an early kick, so it's going to be really early for these Stanford kids. I like the Knights -9.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you there. This is UCF Super Bowl, so it is going to be absolute max effort. Costello will be back, but they did lose, looks like, one of their tackles. We're going to go to College Ames Day, and I will take the Iowa State Cyclones. Just total disrespect that they are not favored in this game to the Iowa Hawkeyes. I do like the spot here. Iowa State coming off a bye week. Our guy Matt Campbell with 2 weeks to prepare for this game at home. College Game Day. Look at tickets. Get-in price right now, $259, which is insane.
Love it
for that part of the country. But give me Iowa State. Give me the money line. Keep your points, Vegas. We're getting in the Wonkavator with Iowa State.
No offense, O'Grady. We love you. We love us some Cyclones on the show.
O'Grady loves Iowa State.
That's what I mean. I know you picked Iowa State, but I know you're taking a knock on them or hit like the whole.
Well, I love
for
Iowa.
Saying you do love Iowa. Jared used to play Dynasty mode in NCAA football. Also, if you're listening and you work for EA Sports, please, for the love of the Lord, give me that game back.
Yeah, turn it back on, dude.
It's the best game. Pay the kids whatever you need to. Just let me get the game back. I'll pay $70 instead of $60. I don't care. Anyway, Jared would always create, or he would be in a dynasty with the Hawkeyes, and I would play him, and he would put shoe clock on, and he would take the ball in the first quarter, and he would just drive, score a touchdown with 13 seconds left. I'd get the ball, get 2 first downs, turn over on 4th down, and then Jared would just run the clock out for the rest of the game. Jared was a firm believer in the don't punt on 4th down philosophy. 3 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards. Every single time.
1, boom.
Mm-hmm. So I got to say it for the first time this year, and I'm very excited to say it. Leave it on the grass.
Oh.
Arizona State going to Michigan State.
I almost got there. I almost got to the window with them, but I didn't do it.
Arizona State plus
That was
15. They have a very good freshman in Jaden Daniels. He's got 3 touchdowns. I sounded like Kurt Herbstreit, or not Herbstreit, Lee Corso there for a second. But anyway.
They got this guy. What's his name? The player.
Daniels. Yeah, the quarterback. He's got 3 touchdowns. He's 32 of 51. He can get it done on the ground a little bit as well. I think Michigan State really hasn't played anybody. Yes, it's at home, but I think Herman's capable of covering. They are 0-2 against the spread so far this year, but that changes today.
Well, it's
tomorrow.
way different catching points than it is laying.
True.
Obviously.
Which, happy. So just to clarify earlier, I told Jared happy birthday. His was, when you listen to this, was yesterday. For those of you, happy Friday the 13th. Ooh.
That's right.
Full moon. I think it's a harvest moon. It's going to be like red. It's going to be
What does that even mean?
Nobody knows what it means. It's provocative. So, recap
what
for
would
me.
you say you do here?
For me, Ball State against FAU plus 2.5. Cincinnati at home against Miami of Ohio minus 17.5. UCF at home against Stanford minus 9. And the Sun Devils, don't say the word devil around Tom Herman, taking on the Sparties, and I got the Sun Devils plus 15. Yeah, Herman said, don't say the word devil around me in his interview, in his intro, like, to the team, being introduced as a head coach, and they're like, you do know that is your mascot. It's true.
Jeez.
Look it up.
All right, I'll give me Temple plus, it's 6.5. If you can find a 7, shop around, kids. Time to find the goods. Kansas State, also plus 7. Iowa State, Hawkeyes in the Wonkavator. Money line spread, first half game, up, down, sideways, and in circles. And then New Mexico, the Lobos, plus 35. Getting a lot of points this week. Plus 35 against Notre Dame. And hopefully the Cards a little bit better next week. Start getting into some conference play. And we have some better matchups. I would have loved. I tell you what. Let me tell you what, man.
Yeah.
I would have loved to bet. I would have loved to bet Kentucky this week against Florida. Mm-hmm. Quarterback out, running back out. I mean, it's just a brutal that they've taken that beating at the skill positions. I may still have a little taste, a little dabble, but. I think you'll see a feisty Kentucky Wildcats football team this weekend.
Rawr, Wildcats. That's a game. As long as the Billy Goat is back there at quarterback for Florida, I have absolutely no faith.
Well, I was going to say, who do you trust? Mark Stoops on defense or Felipe Franks?
Yeah. That's a simple mathematical question right there.
Yeah. Franks stinks, people.
Yeah, he's not that good.
What else was intriguing to me? There's really not a whole lot. I mean, Syracuse, I love what Dino Babers is doing up there, but I'm not stepping in front of the freight train that is the Clemson Tigers. And then, what do you think about this one, Micah? Virginia laying 7.5 with the Seminoles coming from Tallahassee up to Charlottesville.
I did look at that one because I feel like even just after 2 weeks now, Florida State, it's just kind of like they're done already.
Can the price get lower on Florida State?
I think they're pretty rock bottom.
Yeah, they smell the bottom if they're not at it.
Yeah. And everyone's just waiting to hear is Taggart fired. At this point, there's so much blood in the water. I don't know if the guy makes it through the year. But his buyout is so disgusting. They should have lost last week. Yeah, they should have.
I was sitting there watching the game. I said they should go for 2, and then of course they got what they deserved and yoinked the extra point. UCLA, Oklahoma. Your avalanche of money on Oklahoma coming in will come in.
I think you're gonna see that's gonna be the biggest bet of the weekend because Jalen Hurts out here doing his best Brady Belichick impression, saying
it's an 8 o'clock Chase game too.
Yeah, I'm gonna be putting in. Yeah, so if you're the degenerate we were talking about earlier, this is the game you think you're gonna make all your money back on, and it's gonna be epic.
Oh no, Hawaii. Well, Hawaii plays in Seattle against Washington this week. 10:45 Eastern. Oregon laying 37 against Montana.
You know what game I was staring at for Friday night? It was BC.
Yeah, well, who they play against? Kansas. Kansas, not good.
Bad. And BC's got a tail pack that could put a hurting on just about anybody. Yeah. So that's if you're looking for some fun Friday night action, I'm leaning towards it, but I'll probably end up doing it. But yeah, that's a game that I think if you're looking to get the ball rolling early on Friday, that's definitely one you could look at.
Yeah, anything Friday? Mac Attack?
No, I'm just waiting for some action. I need real action on Wednesdays.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm waiting for that because those are fun.
Holgerson versus Mike Leach, 9:15 Eastern. That'd be a good one.
It will be.
I can't believe I didn't mention that prior. That's two of our guys.
I know. Two Titans clashing.
That's going to be what's the total on that game? That's going to be 85-80.
Yeah, I will say I was a little disappointed watching Houston. They did cover against Oklahoma, but that was Oklahoma's got a defense this year that flies to the football. I was impressed by their D. This is a team that I think if they make the college football playoff, they have something on the defensive side of the ball they haven't had the last 2 years.
Yeah, the ability to stop like even one possession.
Well, yeah, and they got size and speed now instead of, they were pretty, I would say definitely undersized defensively when they would, they're built for playing Big 12 football in a more spread open field game where you got linebackers that are 6'1", 215 versus SEC linebackers who are 6'6", 245. And also run like 4.7s, but
yeah,
So that's gonna be interesting to watch going down the stretch. That Texas game's coming soon, and I hope they just beat the piss out of them. But that's foreshadowing. So it's gonna be a good weekend of college football. Jared and I will be together watching some games on Saturday. Hopefully, we tweeting some of this stuff out. But we hope you have a wonderful, spooky Friday the 13th in this lovely September. Have a great weekend and a great Friday. Thanks so much for tuning in, junkies. We're out of here.
See ya.